What if the secret to success isn't IQ or luck, but your ability to read people like a book? This audiobook reveals the hidden art of social intelligence, the skill that shapes influence, connection, and power. Master it, and you'll never see the world the same way again. You'll learn how to understand emotions, read unspoken signals, and respond with confidence. Whether in work, relationships, or everyday life, social intelligence is your key to success. Get ready to unlock your true potential and transform your connections, starting now. Introduction: Why social intelligence is your secret weapon. Let's start with something most people miss when they think about success. It's not just your talent. It's not just your intelligence. It's not even just how hard you work. It's how well you connect with others. That's where social intelligence comes in, and it's a game changer. What is social intelligence? Social intelligence is your ability to read people, respond appropriately, and build real human connection. It's that skill that allows you to walk into a room and immediately sense the vibe. It's knowing when to speak and when to listen. It's understanding unspoken signals, hidden emotions, and subtle energy shifts in conversations. It's not about being fake, manipulative, or playing the game. It's about being smart, socially smart. Social intelligence is how you build trust, handle conflict, make people feel understood, lead without forcing, influence without manipulation. Imagine being able to walk into any situation, job interview, date, meeting, family gathering, and instantly read the room. Imagine always knowing the right thing to say, or when to say nothing at all. That's the power of social intelligence, why it matters in every aspect of life. Here's the truth. Every opportunity you want is connected to a person, a client, a boss, a friend, a mentor, a partner. And whether you connect with them or completely miss the mark depends on your social intelligence. You could be the smartest person in the room, but if you can't connect, you'll struggle. You could have the best product, the most brilliant ideas, the hardest work ethic, but if you can't communicate those things effectively, it won't matter. Social intelligence affects your career, how you lead, collaborate, and negotiate, your relationships, how you resolve conflict, express empathy, and build trust, your personal growth, how you understand yourself through the lens of others. And here's the best part. Unlike IQ, social intelligence is a skill you can build. What you'll get from this book, this isn't just another book full of theories. This is a practical guide designed to help you build real social skills you can use right away. We'll break down how to read body language and hidden emotions, how to handle awkward or difficult social situations, how to connect with anyone authentically, how to use empathy as your superpower, and how to turn everyday interactions into opportunities for growth and success. You'll learn step by step how to unlock the same skills that top communicators, influencers, and leaders use, without pretending to be someone you're not. This is not about being charming. It's about being aware. It's not about talking more. It's about connecting more deeply. The difference between IQ, EQ, and social. IQ lets clear up some confusion. IQ, intelligence quotient, is your cognitive ability, logic, reasoning, memory, and problem solving. EQ, emotional intelligence, is your ability to understand and manage your own emotions. Social IQ is your ability to understand and respond to other people's emotions, behaviors, and social cues. Here's an example. IQ helps you pass the test. EQ helps you stay calm during the test. Social IQ helps you explain the answers to someone else in a way they actually understand. In short, IQ gets you in the door. EQ helps you handle the pressure. But social IQ? That's what makes people remember you. That's what builds connection, trust, and influence. And in today's world, where networking, collaboration, and human interaction are everything, social IQ is the superpower most people are missing. Real-world examples of social intelligence. Think of someone you know who just gets people. Maybe they're not the loudest in the room, but people gravitate to them. They know how to listen, how to make others feel seen and valued. They know how to talk to the CEO and the janitor in the same way, with respect and genuine interest. Think of Oprah Winfrey. She's built an empire, not just through intelligence, but through the art of connection. She listens deeply. She responds with insight. She asks the right questions. She makes people feel safe enough to share their truth. Or Barack Obama. Whether you agreed with his politics or not, his ability to read a room, to pause, to listen, to respond thoughtfully. That's social intelligence in action. You don't have to be famous. You just have to be present, aware, and intentional. And by the time you finish this audiobook, you will be setting the tone. This book is here to help you grow, not by changing who you are, but by enhancing what's already inside you. You don't need to be an extrovert. You don't need to memorize tricks or hacks. You just need to learn how to be more tuned in, more socially aware, and use that awareness to build better relationships. This is going to be practical, motivational, straightforward, and full of real-life, relatable stories and examples. We're going to break it all down, step by step, in a way that's easy to understand, easy to apply, and easy to live. By the end of this journey, you'll be equipped with tools most people never learn. And that will set you apart in every room you walk into. Let's begin with Chapter 1. Understanding Social Intelligence. Chapter 1. Understanding Social Intelligence. Let's start with the foundation. If we're going to master social intelligence, we need to understand what it actually is, where it comes from, and how it works in your everyday life. Because the truth is, we're using social intelligence all the time. We just don't always realize it. What is social intelligence? Social intelligence is the ability to accurately read people, understand social situations, and respond in a way that creates connection and trust. It's like having a radar that picks up on emotions, intentions, and the flow of interaction, and knowing how to adjust your response in real time. Think of it like this. You walk into a room and sense tension. Nobody says it, but you feel it. Someone says they're fine, but their eyes tell a different story. You're in a meeting, and you notice when to speak up and when to stay quiet. That's not just instinct. That's social intelligence in action. It's made up of two key parts. Social awareness. This is your ability to recognize what's happening in a social environment. You pick up on emotions, tone, energy shifts, body language, everything people aren't saying out loud. Social facility. This is how well you manage those situations. It's how you adjust your behavior based on what you're sensing. It's your timing, your empathy, your ability to navigate conversations, build rapport, and respond with impact. In simple terms, social awareness is reading the room. Social facility is knowing what to do once you've read it. Master both, and you become unstoppable in your interactions. The evolutionary roots of social intelligence. Here's something fascinating. Social intelligence isn't new, it's ancient. In fact, it's one of the oldest survival tools humans developed. Long before we built cities or invented language, we lived in tribes. And in those tribes, your ability to cooperate, interpret signals, and avoid social conflict could mean the difference between life and death. You had to know who was a friend or a threat, what your role was in the group, how to resolve tension without violence. when to speak, and when to stay quiet. Over time, the most socially intelligent individuals thrived. They built alliances. They became leaders. They passed on their genes. Even today, our brains are wired for social interaction. There are entire regions in the brain, like the prefrontal cortex and mirror neuron system, dedicated to processing social cues. That means social intelligence isn't some modern, soft skill. It's hardwired into us. You were born with the equipment. Now you just need to learn how to use it more intentionally. The science behind reading people. So how do we actually read people? We often think communication is all about words, but studies show that up to 90% of communication is nonverbal. That means people are constantly sending messages through facial expressions, body posture, tone of voice, eye contact, pauses, gestures, and even silence. Socially intelligent people pay attention to these signals. They're like emotional detectives, watching, listening, sensing. This skill is called empathic accuracy. It's your ability to accurately guess what someone else is feeling or thinking based on subtle clues. And get this, research shows that empathic accuracy is linked to better relationships, stronger leadership, and even increased earnings. The more in tune you are with people, the more trust and influence you build. Now, some people are born with high social awareness, but anyone, yes, anyone, can improve it with practice. That's what this book is for. Why social intelligence matters in daily life. Let's get practical. How does social intelligence actually show up in your everyday routine? Here are some examples. At work, you notice your boss is stressed, so you adjust your tone and offer solutions instead of complaints. You sense a client's hesitation, so you ask a thoughtful question and listen more. In relationships, you can tell your partner's "I'm fine" isn't really fine, so you stay present and listen without judgment. You de-escalate arguments by recognizing triggers before they explode. In social settings, you join a group conversation and instantly pick up the energy. Light, serious, awkward, playful, and you match it. You make others feel comfortable without even trying hard. Social intelligence helps you avoid misunderstandings, build deeper bonds, and stand out in any group. Because people feel seen, heard, and respected around you. That's powerful. Self-assessment. How socially intelligent are you? Let's pause here and reflect. This isn't about judging yourself. It's about becoming aware of where you are right now so you can grow from here. Answer the following questions honestly and maybe even write them down. Do I notice subtle shifts in people's tone or mood during conversations? Can I usually tell when someone's upset, even if they're smiling? Do I adjust my behavior depending on the group or setting I'm in? When I walk into a room, do I naturally read the vibe? Do people confide in me or say I'm easy to talk to? Can I disagree without creating tension or conflict? Do I often notice things others miss in conversations? The more yes answers you have, the more socially aware you likely are. If you had mostly no or sometimes, that's okay. This book is going to help you sharpen those skills. Fast. Closing. This chapter. You're already on the path. Here's the truth. If you're listening to this audiobook, you already care about becoming better with people. That means your social intelligence is already growing. You're not here to be perfect. You're here to be more aware, more intentional, more present. And that starts with understanding what social intelligence is, how it works, and how it shows up in your life. Now that we've set the stage, it's time to go deeper. In the next chapter, we're going to explore how self-awareness, your ability to understand your own emotional impact, becomes the first major step in mastering social intelligence, because before you can read others well, you need to understand yourself even better. Let's dive in. Chapter 2. Mastering Self-Awareness in Social Settings. Before you can read people, you have to read yourself. That's where it all begins. In every social situation, there's one person you're always with: you. And the way you think, feel, and react shapes how others experience you. This is what we call self-awareness, your inner radar for recognizing your own emotional state, thoughts, and behavior in real time. It's not just about knowing what you feel, it's knowing how your emotions show up, how they affect others, and how to manage them. Self-awareness is the foundation of social intelligence. Without it, everything else falls apart. What is self-awareness? Let's break it down simply. Self-awareness is your ability to observe your own thoughts, emotions, and behavior without judgment. It's being able to say, "I'm getting irritated right now. I'm nervous, and that's why I'm over-talking. I'm feeling insecure in this moment, and it's making me shut down." When you're self-aware, you don't just react to the world. You respond with intention. That shift alone can change how people see you and how you carry yourself. It's like turning the lights on in your emotional world. You begin to see what's going on instead of just feeling it. Why self-awareness is crucial for social intelligence. Think about this. Have you ever interrupted someone because you were excited and didn't even realize it? Have you ever reacted defensively, then later thought, "Why did I say that?" Or walked away from a conversation thinking, "I wish I'd handled that differently." That's where self-awareness makes the difference. It helps you catch yourself in the moment. It gives you the space between stimulus and response, between what happens and how you choose to act. Socially intelligent people are highly self-aware. They understand their triggers. They know how their tone, facial expressions, and body language affect others. They're emotionally present, not just floating on our autopilot. That's the power of self-awareness. Internal versus external self-awareness. There are two levels of self-awareness. Both are important. Let's explore them. Internal self-awareness. This is about knowing what's going on inside you. It's being able to identify your emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and motivations. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I reacting this way? What need is behind my emotion? When you understand your internal world, you take control of your reactions. External self-awareness. This is your understanding of how others see you. It's asking, how do I come across to other people? Am I being perceived the way I intend? What energy am I bringing into this room? High external self-awareness allows you to adjust and align your behavior with your message. It's not about people-pleasing. It's about clarity and connection. When you're aware of both your inner state and how you're being received, you become socially powerful. Real-world example. The self-aware communicator. Imagine two co-workers in a meeting. Person A constantly talks over others, unaware they're doing it. They think they're just being enthusiastic, but the room finds them pushy. Person B notices they're excited too, but catches themselves when they interrupt. They pause, breathe, and say, "Sorry, I got carried away. Please finish your thought." Person B demonstrates self-awareness, and because of that, they build trust, respect, and influence. People feel heard around them. That's the difference. Common barriers to self-awareness. You might be wondering, if self-awareness is so powerful, why isn't everyone using it? Here are a few common roadblocks. Emotional blindness. Some people haven't learned to name or process emotions. They feel off, but can't describe it. They default to saying, "I'm fine," when they're not. Ego protection. Sometimes we avoid self-awareness because it's uncomfortable. It's easier to blame others than admit we were impatient or defensive. But growth starts with honesty. Distraction. Modern life is full of noise. Phones, emails, constant stimuli. It's easy to stay disconnected from our inner world if we never slow down. The good news? Self-awareness is a muscle, and just like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. Practical exercises to build self-awareness. Let's get to the tools. Here are some simple, powerful ways to increase your self-awareness starting today. Emotion naming. Throughout the day, pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? Go beyond good or bad. Try frustrated, curious, anxious, hopeful, irritated, grateful. This expands your emotional vocabulary and helps you spot patterns. Trigger journaling. Write down situations where you felt a strong emotional reaction. What happened? What did you feel? Why? What would you do differently? Over time, you'll start to see your triggers clearly. Ask for feedback. This takes courage, but it's gold. Ask trusted people. How do I come across in conversations? What's one thing I could improve? You may be surprised by what you learn. Body check-in. Your body often knows before your brain. Tight shoulders, fast heartbeat, dry mouth. Your body is signaling something emotionally. Tune into it. Ask, what's this tension telling me? The pause technique. Before reacting, pause. Take a breath. Count to 3. Ask, what's really happening here? How do I want to respond? This one habit can change your entire communication style. Self-awareness in action. A quick story. Let's say you're in a conversation with a friend. They say something that hits a nerve, and you feel your chest tighten. In the past, you might have snapped back or shut down, but now you recognize it. I'm feeling defensive. You take a breath. You pause. Instead of reacting, you say, that brought something up for me. Can we talk about it? That's growth. That's self-awareness in motion. And guess what? Your friend will feel safer with you. Because when you take responsibility for your emotions, others don't have to guess or walk on eggshells. Your challenge. Daily self-awareness. Practice. Let's end this chapter with a simple daily challenge. Every evening, reflect on one interaction you had that day. Ask yourself, how did I feel during that conversation? What did I say or do that worked well? What would I change if I could do it again? You can journal this or just think it through while brushing your teeth. This tiny habit, done daily, creates massive self-awareness over time. Final words for this chapter. Here's the truth. You can't control how other people act, but you can control how self-aware you are. The more you understand your own mind, the more peace, confidence, and connection you'll create in your life. Self-awareness isn't just about you, it's about how you show up for others. And in the next chapter, we'll explore how to take that awareness and use it to manage your emotions in high-pressure moments, conflict, and everyday life. Because mastering your emotions is the next key to mastering your social world. Let's keep going. Chapter 3. Managing Emotions in Social Situations. You've taken the first step. You're becoming more aware of your emotions. Now it's time to learn the second skill of social intelligence, emotional management. Because awareness alone isn't enough. You can know you're angry, anxious, or stressed, but if you don't know how to handle those emotions in the moment, they still control your behavior. In social situations, your ability to regulate your emotions is what separates reaction from response, chaos from connection. Let's break this down. Why emotional management matters. Think about your last emotionally charged moment. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic. Maybe a friend said something that felt like a jab. Maybe you got nervous before speaking up at a meeting. What did you do? Did you react impulsively? Did you shut down or lash out? Or did you pause, breathe, and respond with intention? In any social setting, whether it's a conversation, an argument, or a presentation, emotions are running under the surface. And the way you manage your emotional state determines how others experience you. Emotions aren't the problem, unregulated emotions are. What emotional regulation looks like. Let's say someone says something that embarrasses you in front of others. A knee-jerk reaction might be snapping back, walking away without saying anything, laughing it off while secretly boiling inside, but a regulated response might sound like, "That comment caught me off guard. Can we talk about it privately?" See the difference? One is a reaction. You're driven by the emotion. The other is a response. You acknowledge the feeling but stay in control. Managing emotions doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing them. It means feeling them fully, but responding wisely. The science behind emotional regulation. Let's bring in a little science. No jargon, just clarity. When we feel a strong emotion, the amygdala, the brain's alarm system, gets triggered. It's responsible for the fight or flight reaction. But the prefrontal cortex, the logical, rational part of your brain, is what helps you pause and think before acting. When you regulate your emotions, you're literally creating a bridge between your emotional brain and your thinking brain. This is why taking a deep breath or counting to 5 actually helps. You're giving your prefrontal cortex time to engage before your emotions hijack the situation. Emotional triggers. Know yours everyone has emotional triggers, specific situations, words, or behaviors that spark a strong emotional reaction. Some common triggers include being interrupted, feeling ignored or dismissed, being criticized in front of others, feeling like you're not in control, disrespect, or being misunderstood. The key is to recognize yours, because when you know your triggers, you can prepare for them. You can catch yourself before the wave crashes. Let's pause here and ask, what are your top 3 emotional triggers in social settings? Write them down. Keep them in mind. You'll need this awareness moving forward. Tools to stay calm and centered in the moment. Here are simple, effective techniques you can start using today. The power pause. When you feel a strong emotion, rise, pause. Even a 3-second pause can change everything. In that pause, take a breath. Ask, what am I feeling? Ask, what outcome do I want from this moment? Then respond, not react. Name it to tame. Labeling your emotion can calm your nervous system. Say to yourself, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm frustrated right now. This situation is making me feel defensive. By naming it, you create distance between you and the emotion. You're observing it, not drowning in it. Breathe to reset. Deep breathing isn't fluff, it's neuroscience. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This signals to your brain, I'm safe, I'm calm, I'm in control. Do this even once in a heated moment, and you'll feel the shift. Use a grounding statement. Have a phrase that brings you back to center. Examples. This is temporary. I choose how I respond. Pause. Breathe. Choose. I'm safe. I don't need to rush. Pick one that resonates with you. Use it when emotions rise. Real-life example. The emotional ninja. Imagine you're giving a presentation and someone challenges your point in front of the group. You might have snapped defensively or stumbled nervously. But now, You pause. You feel your heartbeat. You take a breath. You say, "That's a fair question. Let me explain where I'm coming from." Boom. Calm. Collected. Respect earned. That's emotional regulation in action. That's social power. Emotional. Contagion. Your emotions affect others. Here's something wild. Emotions are contagious. When you walk into a room with calm, grounded energy, people feel it. When you enter tense, anxious, or aggressive, that spreads too. If you can manage your emotions, you can lead emotional energy in any space. You don't just become better at relationships, you become a force that shapes them. Your emotional toolkit. Quick. Recap. Let's recap the tools you now have. Pause before reacting. Name the emotion. Breathe deeply to calm the nervous system. Use grounding phrases. Know your triggers. Stay outcome-focused, not ego-focused. These tools don't require perfection. They require practice. And with time, they'll become second nature. A daily practice to build emotional mastery. Here's your practice challenge for this chapter. At the end of each day, ask yourself, when did I feel emotionally activated today? How did I respond? What could I do differently next time? Just like building a muscle, emotional control gets stronger through reps. Every moment you pause, breathe, and choose your response, you're training your brain. Final words for this chapter. Here's the truth. Emotional strength doesn't mean you never feel angry, anxious, or hurt. It means you don't let those feelings control your actions. Socially intelligent people aren't emotionless. They're emotionally wise. They feel it all, but still choose how they show up. And that's your power too. In the next chapter, we'll explore one of the most important ingredients of social intelligence: empathy. The ability to feel what others feel and connect at a deep, human level. Because once you master your own emotions, it's time to step into someone else's shoes. Let's keep going. Chapter 4. Building Empathy for Stronger Relationships. If social intelligence had a heart, its name would be empathy. Empathy is the superpower that lets you connect with others on a human level. It's the ability to understand and feel what someone else is going through, even if their experience is different from yours. You don't need a PhD in psychology. You don't need to fix anyone's problems. You just need to listen, feel, and care. In this chapter, we'll unlock the real meaning of empathy, how it works, why it matters, and how to build it in a world that often feels cold and distracted. What is empathy really? Let's start by clearing up a common misconception. Empathy is not the same as sympathy. Sympathy says, "I feel sorry for you." Empathy says, "I feel with you." Sympathy creates distance. Empathy builds bridges. When someone is going through something tough, they don't want your pity. They want your presence. And presence, my friend, is powerful. The 3 types of empathy. Psychologists often break empathy into 3 parts. Let's explore them simply. Cognitive empathy. I understand how you feel. This is about mentally understanding someone's emotions. It's putting yourself in their situation even if you've never experienced it. Example: your friend lost a job. You haven't been fired, but you can imagine how uncertain and scared they might feel. Emotional empathy. I feel what you feel. This is when you actually feel the emotions of another person. You see someone crying, and your chest tightens. You hear about someone's success, and you feel a burst of joy with them. It's shared emotional experience. Compassionate empathy. I care, and I want to help. This is empathy in action. You don't just feel, you respond with kindness. You comfort, you support, you show up. This is where empathy becomes connection. Why empathy matters in social intelligence. You could be the smartest person in the room, but without empathy, your relationships will always feel flat, shallow, or disconnected. Empathy builds trust. People open up when they feel understood. Respect. When you listen and care, people feel valued. Influence. If people know you get them, they're more likely to listen to you. Whether you're a leader, a partner, a parent, or a friend, empathy makes you someone others want to be around. It's not just a nice to have, it's a must have. Common blocks to empathy. So why don't we practice empathy more often? Because in the rush of modern life, we forget to feel. We get distracted, judgmental, or impatient. Here are some common empathy blockers. Judging too quickly. They're overreacting. Trying to fix too fast. Here's what you should do. Comparing pain. That's nothing. You should hear what I've been through. Being distracted. Looking at your phone while someone is opening their heart. Empathy starts when you slow down and tune in. How to build empathy. Practical strategies. Here are simple ways to start building your empathy muscle today. Listen to, understand. Not to reply. When someone talks to you, don't just wait for your turn to speak. Really listen. Let their words land. Watch their body language. Ask, what are they really feeling right now? That alone builds connection. Use reflective statements. When someone shares something with you, try reflecting it back. That sounds really tough. It makes sense you'd feel overwhelmed. I hear how much that meant to you. It shows you're listening and feeling with them. Get curious about others' experiences. You don't have to agree with someone to empathize. Ask questions like, what was that like for you? How did that make you feel? What do you need right now? Curiosity is the gateway to compassion. Put yourself in their shoes. Literally, imagine being in their position. Not just what they're going through, but their background, fears, and worldview. This mental shift expands your heart empathy. In action, real-life example. Imagine this. Your coworker snaps at you during a meeting. You might snap back or silently hold a grudge. But now, you take a breath and say, "Hey, you seem a little off today. Is everything okay?" They pause, surprised. Then admit they're going through a rough time at home. Boom! Conflict diffused. Relationship deepened. Trust built. That's the power of empathy in motion. Warning: empathy. Fatigue is real. Let's be honest. Feeling for others can be exhausting, especially if you're highly sensitive or constantly giving. Empathy doesn't mean taking on other people's pain as your own. It means being present, not being their emotional sponge. Protect your own emotional health. Set boundaries when needed. Recharge your energy regularly. Offer support, but know you're not responsible for everyone's happiness. You can be kind without self-sacrifice. A daily practice for growing. Empathy? Let's try a 3-minute daily practice. Think of someone you interacted with today. Ask, what were they feeling? Why might they have felt that way? How could I have shown more empathy? Make one small change in your next interaction. Small moments of empathy create a big ripple. Final words for this chapter. Empathy is not weakness. It's emotional strength. It's the quiet force that softens conflict, deepens love, and builds bridges in a divided world. Socially intelligent people know that empathy isn't about having the right words. It's about being there. With your presence, your heart, your attention. The next time someone shares something with you, pause. Look them in the eye. Listen, feel, care. You don't have to fix them. You just have to feel with them. In the next chapter, we'll unlock how to read the hidden messages people send every day through their body language, tone, and facial expressions. Because once you master empathy, you're ready to read the room. Let's go deeper. Chapter 5, Social Skills 101. Understanding Social Cues. Have you ever walked into a room and just known something was off? Or talked to someone and felt like they were saying one thing, but their body said another? That's not magic, it's social intelligence in action. And at the center of it all, social cues. In this chapter, we'll dive into the subtle but powerful ways people communicate, without saying a word. From body language to tone of voice to facial expressions, you'll learn how to read the room, respond with intention, and level up your connection with others. What are social cues? Social cues are the nonverbal signals people give off, consciously or unconsciously, that tell you what they're really thinking or feeling. Think of them as emotional signposts. They're always around you, if you're paying attention. Social cues include body posture, eye contact, facial expressions, tone of voice, gestures, pauses, physical proximity. They can whisper or they can shout, but they always communicate. Why social cues? Matter, imagine. Playing a game where half the rules are unspoken. That's real life. Words only make up a fraction of communication. The rest? It's tone, timing, expression, and energy. Understanding social cues helps you. Avoid misunderstandings, know when to speak or listen, read emotions without being told. Build instant rapport. Handle conflict before it explodes. Mastering social cues turns you into someone people feel comfortable around, because you get it. The basics. Key types of social cues. Let's break down the 6 most important types of social cues and how to spot them. Facial expressions. The face is the most expressive part of the body. Key expressions to watch. Smiling, openness or friendliness, frowning, disapproval or confusion, raised eyebrows, surprise or curiosity, tight jaw, tension or anger, lack of expression, boredom or masking emotions. Tip: emotions like happiness, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust are universal across cultures. The key is subtlety. A half-second eye roll or a twitch of the lips can tell you everything. Eye contact can be a sign of connection or discomfort. Strong eye contact, confidence, engagement, avoiding eye contact, nervousness, dishonesty, or cultural habit. Too much eye contact. Aggression or dominance. Reading eyes helps you gauge interest, honesty, and emotion. Tip: pay attention to pupil. Dilation. It can indicate excitement or interest. Body language and posture. Is the person leaning in or pulling away? Open posture. Relaxed and engaged. Crossed arms. Defensive or closed off. Leaning forward. Interest. Stepping back. Discomfort. Fidgeting. Anxiety or boredom. Tip: mirror their body language gently to build rapport. Tone of voice. It's not what someone says, it's how they say it. Tone can signal excitement, sarcasm, boredom, authority, fear. Listen for pitch, pace, volume, and inflection. For example, a flat tone might signal disinterest. A high-pitched tone could show anxiety. A slow, calm voice often builds trust. Gestures and movement. Hand movements reveal confidence, intention, and energy. Open-handed gestures. Honesty and openness. Pointing. Aggression or assertiveness. Clenched fists. Tension or anger. Touching. The face. Nervousness. Tip: notice repetitive movements. They often reflect internal stress. Proximity and space. How close someone stands to you speaks volumes. Close distance. Comfort, intimacy, or urgency. Far distance. Formality, discomfort, or avoidance. Personal space preferences vary by culture, but sudden changes in distance are always worth noticing. Reading the room. Socially intelligent people don't just read individuals, they read the room. Ask yourself, what's the overall mood here? Who holds the power or influence? Is this a moment to speak, support, or step back? Watch for group dynamics. Who's making eye contact with whom? Who's being ignored? Is the energy high, tense, awkward, or relaxed? Reading a room lets you adjust your tone, timing, and message like a pro. Responding to social cues. Now that you can read cues, how do you respond? Here's a simple rule. Observe, interpret, adjust, observe. Notice the cues, body language, tone, expression. Interpret. Ask yourself, what might they be feeling or needing? Adjust. Change your response. Slow down. Speak up. Give space. Ask a question. Example, you're talking to a colleague and notice they keep glancing at the clock and fidgeting. Old reaction. You keep talking, thinking they're rude. Socially, intelligent reaction. You pause and say, looks like you've got something on your mind. Should we catch up later? Boom. You just showed awareness, respect, and consideration, all through reading cues. Practice time. Decoding. Cues. Let's try this. Imagine you're in a conversation and the person avoids eye contact, has closed arms, gives one-word answers. What might that mean? They could be nervous, disinterested, or feeling unsafe. Instead of assuming they're rude, ask gently, is this a bad time? I'm happy to chat later. Another example. Someone is smiling, nodding, and leaning in, but hasn't spoken much. That could signal interest. Invite them in. What's your take on this? The goal isn't perfection. It's awareness plus kindness. A social cue checklist. Before your next conversation or meeting, run this quick mental checklist. Facial expression. What emotion are they showing? Body posture. Open or closed. Eye contact. Engaged or distracted. Tone of voice. Warm, flat, rushed. Movement. Calm or restless. Space. Are they leaning in or backing off? This habit sharpens your instincts and deepens your people skills over time. Final words. For this chapter, social cues are always speaking. The question is, are you listening? People rarely say exactly what they feel, but their bodies do, their eyes do, their tone does. When you learn to decode those subtle signs, you become someone who's tuned in. That's powerful, that's rare, and that's what makes you unforgettable. In the next chapter, we'll unlock the secrets of communication, how to speak with confidence, clarity, and emotional impact. Because reading cues is one side of the coin. Responding with skill? That's next level. Let's level up your voice. Chapter 6. Mastering the Art of Communication. If social cues are the language of observation, communication is the language of action. It's how you express yourself, how you connect, how you lead, listen, and leave a lasting impression. But great, communication isn't just about speaking well. It's about speaking to be understood and listening to understand. In this chapter, we're going to sharpen your communication skills so you can talk with impact, listen like a leader, and handle conversations with confidence and empathy. Let's begin. Why communication is the core of social intelligence, socially intelligent. People don't just understand others, They know how to be understood. They express themselves clearly, respectfully, and in a way that lands with the listener. They listen with the intent to connect, not just to reply. In relationships, business, friendships, and leadership, communication is the bridge between people. It's also where most problems happen. Why? Because we assume others hear us exactly as we intend. Spoiler alert, they often don't. That's why improving your communication isn't optional, it's essential. The three pillars of powerful communication. Let's break great communication into three parts. Clarity, say what you mean without confusion. Empathy, make the other person feel seen and safe. Presence, be in the moment, not in your head. Let's unpack each one. Clarity, say it, so they get it. Clear communication starts with knowing what you want to say and why. Tips for clarity. Use simple, direct language. Avoid over-explaining. Stick to one idea at a time. Think before you speak. Replace vague words with specific ones. Compare. I just feel like maybe you don't really care about what's happening or whatever. With, when you didn't respond to my message, I felt ignored. Clear communication removes guesswork and builds trust. Empathy. Speak with the heart. Empathetic communication means tuning in to how the other person might be feeling. It's not about agreeing, it's about understanding. Empathy sounds like, that sounds tough. Tell me more. I can see why you'd feel that way. Thanks for being honest with me. Even when you're setting boundaries or saying no, empathy softens the edges. It makes your words land with care, not conflict. Presence, be fully, there you can't connect if you're not present. Most people listen to reply. Socially intelligent people, they listen to connect. When you're present, you make eye contact. You nod, respond, and follow the flow. You're not thinking about your next sentence. You're focused on the other person. Presence is powerful because it makes people feel important. That feeling, it's rare and unforgettable. Verbal versus nonverbal communication. Remember, words are just part of the message. Here's how the breakdown looks. Words. 70% tone of voice, 38% body language, 55% crazy, right? So what does that mean? It means you can say, I'm fine, 10 different ways, and each one means something different. Your tone, expression, and energy must match your words if you want to come across as sincere. So when you speak, ask yourself, does my tone match my message? Does my face reflect my words? Am I saying this in a way they'll hear it? That's next-level communication. The power of listening. Here's a secret. If you want to be a better communicator, become a better listener. People love being around great listeners. Why? Because it feels good to be heard. Here's how to really listen. Don't interrupt. Don't plan your reply while they're still talking. Give them your full attention. Repeat or paraphrase to show understanding. Ask follow-up questions like, what happened next? The best communicators speak less, but say more, because they listen first. How to handle difficult conversations. Conflict is part of life. But socially intelligent people handle it differently. They don't avoid hard conversations. They navigate them. Here's how. Stay calm, not cold. Keep your voice steady. Slow down. Breathe. Control your tone. It sets the mood. Use I statements. Say, I felt hurt when that happened. Not, you always hurt me. This keeps the focus on your experience, not on blame. Acknowledge, then assert, say, I understand why you were upset, and at the same time, I need to share how that affected me. It's not either or, it's both and. That's balance. That's maturity. That's social intelligence, small talk, big impact. Some people hate small talk, but guess what? Small talk is big talk in disguise. It opens the door to deeper connection. Here's how to do it well. Start with shared context. Busy. Day to day? Or how do you know the host? Use open-ended questions. What brought you here? Instead of, did you like it? Show interest. That's fascinating. Tell me more. And remember, don't overthink it. People don't remember your exact words. They remember how you made them feel. So be warm. Be curious. Be real. Digital communication. Texts, emails, and messages. In a digital world, your words matter more because tone and expression are missing. Tips for socially intelligent online communication. Be clear and concise. Add warmth. Hi, hope. Your day's going well. Use emojis wisely. They can soften tone. Reread before sending. Don't argue over text. Pick up the phone. Just because it's fast doesn't mean it should be careless. Respect still matters, even in a DM. Practice. Daily communication habits. Want to level up your communication? Try this. Mirror with intention. Subtly reflect the other person's energy and tone. Builds trust fast. Pause before speaking. Just 2 seconds can change your message from reactive to thoughtful. Ask more than you tell. Let curiosity lead. People love good listeners. And on a kind note, always leave people feeling seen, heard, or appreciated. A quick communication, self-check, ask yourself at the end of the day. Did I speak with clarity? Did I listen without interrupting? Did I make anyone feel understood today? If yes, well done. If not, tomorrow is another chance to grow. Final words for this chapter. Communication is more than words. It's connection. And connection is the currency of life. When you speak with clarity, listen with empathy, and show up with presence, you become someone people want to talk to. You become memorable. In the next chapter, we'll explore one of the most underrated but life-changing social skills: building trust and credibility. How to become the kind of person others believe in, confide in, and follow. Let's unlock that next. Chapter 7. Building trust and credibility. Trust is the invisible glue that holds relationships together. It's what turns a conversation into a connection, and a connection into loyalty, respect, and influence. But trust isn't something you demand. It's something you earn through consistency, honesty, and how you make people feel. In this chapter, we'll explore what it really means to be trustworthy, how to build credibility in any setting, and how to repair trust when it's been damaged. Let's dive in. Why trust matters. More than ever, you can be smart. You can be skilled. But if people don't trust you, it's game over. Trust affects everything. Whether people open up to you, whether they follow your lead, whether they believe your words, whether they want to be around you. In a world full of noise, hype, and fake smiles, trust is rare, which makes it powerful. The two sides of trust has two main components. Character. Are you honest, ethical, and consistent? Competence. Are you capable, reliable, and skilled? People don't just trust good intentions. They trust results. Example. You may love your friend who's always late, but you wouldn't trust them to pick you up for a job interview. To be truly trustworthy, you need both: a good heart and good habits. The 5 foundations of trust. Let's break it down. Trust is built on consistency. People trust what they can predict. Show up on time. Keep your word. Don't change your tone based on who's watching. Honesty, say what you mean. Don't sugarcoat or manipulate. Be real, even when it's uncomfortable. Transparency, be open about your thoughts, motives, and limits. Say, I don't know the answer yet, but I'll find out. Hash. Reliability, do what you say. Follow through, even on small things. Broken promises erode trust faster than anything. Respect, speak with care. Listen without judgment. Make others feel valued, not used. Master these 5, people will feel safe with you. And where there's safety, trust can grow. How to earn instant. Credibility means people believe you. You don't need fame, titles, or followers to build it. You need confidence without arrogance, competence in your craft, calmness under pressure. Here are 3 quick ways to earn credibility. Own what you know and don't know, say. This is what I've seen work. That's outside my expertise, but here's what I can tell you. It's honest, it's refreshing, and it builds trust fast. Speak clearly and specifically. Vague language sounds weak. Be direct. Be grounded. Be real. Let results. Speak. Let your actions back your words. Talk less. Do more. That's credibility in motion, the role of vulnerability in trust. Here's a surprise. The fastest way to earn deep trust isn't to be perfect. It's to be vulnerable. Letting people see your real self, your fears, your doubts, your mistakes, makes you relatable. And relatability builds connection. Think about the leaders or influencers you admire most. Chances are they share their struggles, not just their wins, because vulnerability says, I'm human too. And that's what people trust most. How to lose trust and avoid it. Let's be real. Trust is hard to earn and easy to break. Here are some of the fastest ways people destroy trust. Lying, even small, white lies. Making promises and not keeping them. Talking behind people's backs. Being two-faced or inconsistent. Blaming others instead of owning mistakes. If any of these slip into your behavior, stop and course. Correct. Fast. Remember, trust is your most valuable social currency. Protect it. How to rebuild trust. After it's broken, we're human. Mistakes happen. If you've broken someone's trust, intentionally or not, don't panic. You can rebuild it. But it takes time, effort, and sincerity. Here's how. Own the mistake. No excuses. No shifting blame. Say, I messed up. I take full responsibility. Apologize clearly. Skip the generic, I'm sorry if you were hurt. Say, I'm truly sorry for what I did. I understand why it hurt you. Show change through action. Words are empty without behavior. Consistency over time is what rebuilds trust. Be patient. Be humble. Be committed. The trust formula. Actions. Over time, think of a trust like a bank account. Each honest action is a deposit. Each broken promise is a withdrawal. Over time, those deposits build a strong balance. If you make a mistake, your account can cover it. But if you've made too many withdrawals, you're in overdraft, and trust is gone. So ask yourself daily, am I showing up as someone others can count on? Am I consistent in private and public? Am I listening more than I talk? These questions keep your trust account full. How to become a person. People instinctively trust. This is rare, but powerful. Some people walk into a room, and others instantly feel safe around them. Here's why. They don't brag. They ask questions. They don't dominate. They collaborate. They don't pretend. They're real. Want to become that kind of person. Focus less on trying to gain trust and more on deserving it. Be the kind of person you'd trust with your own truth. Practice. Daily trust-building habits. Let's make this practical. Here are simple daily habits that build trust. Be 5 minutes early. Show reliability. Do one small thing you promised. Listen without interrupting. Own a mistake, even a tiny one. Give credit where it's due. Say what you mean. No sugarcoating. No spinning. Small moments, big impact. Final words for this chapter. Trust and credibility are not traits you're born with. They're choices you make. Every day. When you live with integrity, speak with honesty, and lead with empathy, people don't just respect you, they believe in you. And that belief, that's the foundation of lasting influence. In the next chapter, we're going to explore how to adapt to F's different personality types so you can connect with anyone, even those who seem totally not different from you. Let's unlock that. Next, Chapter 8. Adapting to different personality types. Have you ever met someone and immediately felt, wow, we just don't click? Maybe their energy feels too intense or too quiet. Maybe their style is just totally different from yours. But what if I told you? You can learn to connect with anyone, even those who feel completely opposite from you. That's what this chapter is all about. Understanding personality types and adapting your social intelligence to create better relationships, smoother conversations, and stronger influence. Let's dive in. Why personality types matter. Every person you meet is unique, but underneath that uniqueness are patterns, common ways people think, behave, and react. When you recognize these patterns, you gain a secret advantage. You can predict how someone might respond. You can adjust your words, tone, and body language to make connection effortless. Trying to treat everyone the same way is like using a hammer for every problem. Sometimes you need a wrench. Sometimes a screwdriver. Learning to read and adapt to personality types is like having a toolkit, ready for every social situation. The 4 classic personality types. One of the most useful models breaks people into 4 broad categories. The driver bold, direct, results-focused likes, getting things done, clear goals, dislikes, wasting time, too much small talk. The expressive energetic, enthusiastic, people-oriented likes. Creativity, excitement, socializing dislikes, boredom, being ignored. The amiable supportive, loyal, patient. Likes, harmony, relationships, teamwork. Dislikes, conflict, rush decisions. The analytical, detail-oriented, logical, precise likes, facts, planning, quality dislikes. Chaos, ambiguity. Why adapting is a superpower. Adaptation is the heart of social intelligence. When you flex your style, people feel heard and valued. You reduce misunderstandings. You build faster rapport. Think about the last time you connected instantly with someone. Chances are you unconsciously adjusted your style to theirs. Making this skill conscious means you can do it anytime, anywhere, on purpose. Common mistakes when dealing with different types. Treating everyone like you frustrates others, talking too much to analytical types, being too blunt with amiables. Ignoring expressive types' emotions. Awareness is the first step. Next is practice. Practice exercise. The 3-step adaptation. Observe, listen to their words, watch their body language, classify which personality type fits best, adjust, change your tone, pace, and focus accordingly. Try this week in conversations and notice the change, adapting, without losing yourself. Adapting doesn't mean faking who you are. It means showing your best self in a way others can relate to. Think of it like speaking different dialects of the same language. Your stills, you bonus, reading mixed personalities. Sometimes people are complex blends. A driver with expressive energy might be both decisive and emotional. An amiable analytical might want harmony, but also facts. In these cases, lean into the dominant traits and stay flexible. Final thought, mastering personality types gives you a huge edge in social intelligence. It helps you connect with anyone, navigate difficult conversations, build trust faster, influence with empathy. Next up, in Chapter 9, we'll explore how to master difficult conversations. Because adapting to personality is only part of the game. Knowing how to handle tension and conflict is the true mark of social mastery. Ready? Let's keep growing. Chapter 9. How to master difficult conversations. Let's be honest, no one likes difficult conversations. They're awkward, uncomfortable, and sometimes downright scary. But here's the truth. The way you handle difficult conversations defines your social intelligence. Avoiding tough talks. That just lets problems grow. Mastering them. That builds respect, trust, and stronger connections. In this chapter, we'll break down how to face hard talks with confidence and calm, and turn potential conflicts into opportunities for growth. Why? Difficult conversations matter. Difficult conversations come in many forms: giving or receiving feedback, addressing misunderstandings, saying no, or setting boundaries, talking about money, performance, or feelings. They matter because they're where most relationships are truly tested. Avoid them and problems fester. Handle them well and relationships deepen. The three biggest fears in difficult talks. Most people avoid tough talks because they fear conflict. They worry things will get heated. Rejection. They fear being disliked or cut off. Failure. They worry they'll say the wrong thing and make things worse. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Reframe your mindset. Difficult doesn't mean bad. Instead of thinking, this is going to be awful, try, this is an opportunity to clear the air and grow. Changing your mindset reduces anxiety and opens the door to honest, productive talks. The 5 steps to mastering difficult conversations. Prepare mentally. Know what you want to say and why. Stay calm. Breathe. Visualize a positive outcome. Start with empathy. Acknowledge the other person's feelings. Say, I want to talk about something important because I care about our relationship. Use I statements. Focus on your feelings and experiences, not blame. I feel hurt when, instead of you always. Listen actively. Let them speak. Don't interrupt. Repeat back what you hear. So what I'm hearing is 5. Collaborate on solutions, invite ideas. How can we move forward? Work. Together, not against each other. How to manage your emotions. Difficult talks trigger emotions, frustration, anger, sadness. Pause if you feel overwhelmed. Use deep breaths or count to 5. If needed, ask for a short break. Remember, staying calm gives you control. Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Blaming or attacking. Stay curious, not judgmental. Getting defensive. Listen, don't argue. Avoiding the topic. Face it early. Don't let it fester. Talking too much. Give space for others to share. When to walk away, and how. Sometimes the other person isn't ready to talk or gets too emotional. It's okay to say, I see this as tough. Let's take a break and come back when we're both calm. Respecting boundaries keeps the door open. Practice. Role-playing. difficult conversations. Find a trusted friend or record yourself practicing tough talks. Try these scenarios: giving constructive feedback, saying no without guilt, addressing a misunderstanding. Practice builds confidence. How mastering difficult conversations boosts your social intelligence. When you face tough talks, you build trust through honesty. You prevent resentment and misunderstandings. You show emotional maturity. You strengthen your relationships. This skill sets socially intelligent people apart. Final words for this chapter: difficult conversations aren't easy, but they're necessary. They are your chance to be authentic, empathetic, and courageous. Remember the 5 steps: prepare, empathize, use I statements, listen, collaborate. With practice, difficult conversations become less scary and more powerful. In the final chapter, we'll wrap up with a personal social intelligence growth plan to keep your skills sharp and growing every day. Ready to finish strong? Just say the word. Chapter 10: Your Social Intelligence Growth Plan and Conclusion. Congratulations! You've come a long way in understanding and mastering social intelligence, the art of reading and responding to people. This final chapter is all about turning what you've learned into lasting habits that transform your relationships and your life. Let's build your personal social intelligence growth plan and close with some powerful motivation to keep you moving forward. Why a growth plan matters. Like any skill, social intelligence needs practice and intentional effort. Without a plan, old habits creep back in. With a plan, you create momentum, growth, and real change. This plan is your daily compass, a simple set of actions to keep leveling up. Step 1. Daily awareness practice. Every day, practice tuning into people's social cues: words, tone, facial expressions, body language. Ask yourself, what emotion is this person showing? What do I think they really mean? How am I responding? Am I adapting my style? Even 5 minutes of mindful observation makes a difference. Step 2. Weekly reflection set. Aside time once a week to reflect on your social interactions. What went well? What felt challenging? How did you adapt to different personalities? What difficult conversations did you face, and how did you handle them? Write down insights and set one small goal for the next week. Step 3. Expand your social circle. Challenge yourself to connect with new people. Try to practice social intelligence with someone different. New personality type, culture, or background. Diverse experiences stretch your skills and boost confidence. Step 4. Role play and practice. Find a friend, coach, or even yourself in the mirror to rehearse conversations, especially difficult ones. Practice makes natural, and natural builds social ease. Step 5. Keep learning. Read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts on social skills, emotional intelligence, and human behavior. Stay curious. Growth never stops. Your personal growth challenge: 30 days of social intelligence. Here's a simple challenge to get started. Day 1 to 5. Practice active listening in every conversation. Day 6 through 10. Adapt your communication to different personality types. Day 11 to 15. Initiate one difficult conversation with empathy and I statements. Day 16-20. Observe nonverbal cues in at least 3 interactions per day. Day 21-25. Reflect weekly and journal your social wins and lessons. Day 26-30. Reach out to a new person and build rapport. Final motivational thoughts. Social intelligence isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It's about choosing connection over isolation, understanding over judgment, growth over comfort. Every step you take towards social intelligence opens doors. to friendships, career success, love, and fulfillment. You have the power to transform your relationships and your life, one conversation at a time. Thank you for trusting me to guide you on this journey. Keep practicing, keep growing, and watch as your world changes through the art of reading and responding to people. You're ready to shine.